is this the right? Okay. Dear Sir, Madam, Mr. Julian MacDonald, date of birth, writing to you for a one-way urgent transfer um, of why urgent?
It wasn't a note that it's urgent. I didn't know that if I should put it in here or not, but it wasn't a note that it's an urgent treatment needed or something like that. I didn't get why is it urgent because it was for rehabilitation, but still because it was in the note, I put it there.
Okay. Right.
And again, for the one way, I didn't know that I should I put it here for a one-way
And
transfer.
what it mean with one way?
Well, it means we're sending him to you to rehabilitate and then send home, not to return him here. Okay. Okay. I know what you. I understand the reason you wrote urgent. There is an immediate. Okay. For immediate management. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, one of the meanings of immediate is actually not urgent. It means, for example, do you have any immediate family members?
Oh yeah.
Do
For
you
that,
have an immediate next door neighbor? It means,
close, yeah.
yeah. Okay. So it means without a gap. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's basically here immediate transfer means immediate treatment, immediate management means basically without interruption. Okay, but it doesn't mean urgent. So in transfers, when you transfer a person, it could be, for example, from hospital to a rehab center. And this could be to go there and come back, or from hospital to rehabilitation center and then home. Okay, so or maybe to rehabilitation center and then back, then come back. So that wouldn't be a one-way rehabilitation. So and that's why they call it a one-way. Basically, the reason they do that is usually because we have something, you know, about primary care and secondary care, and tertiary care. Okay, and we've got this in Iran, exactly the same thing. Then something new has come in called intermediate care, probably 10-15 years, and it's more like rehabilitation centers or basically for people who are not fit enough to go home, but they're not too bad to go to stay in hospital, because it's too expensive to keep them in secondary care. Therefore, they go to intermediate care centers, which are nurse-led. There are no doctors. Doctors visit sometimes or regularly, but basically everything is managed by nurses. And in primary care, obviously, the GP is responsible, or the family practitioner. Okay. Primary care includes GP, community nurse, community midwife, community physio. Anything which is in community, which is out of the hospital, is primary care.
Yeah.
Secondary care, everything is in hospital, okay? And in tertiary care, obviously, everything is in a subspecialty hospital, okay? For example, the cancer center. Intermediate care, usually nurse-led, and they have different levels. Sometimes they have uh, more nurses. Okay. Now, usually they keep the patients up to 2 weeks. Okay. So further than that, then if a patient is not fit to go back home, then they need to go under social care. Mm. Okay, the ministry responsible for health and social care is one ministry in the UK, in Canada, in Australia. We call it the Department of Health Services and Social Care. Okay, it's one department which has two parts: health services and social care. But this doesn't mean that the social care people work for us. No, they work along people. In social care, basically we have nursing homes, uh, care homes, uh, mm, sheltered accommodation, uh, warden assisted accommodation. Okay. So they have a warden, they have a janitor, mm, home care, shopping aid, and Meals on Wheels, and so on. Okay, so basically, in social care, what they do is if a patient cannot stay in rehab center, after 2 weeks they send them to their home. If they cannot, to a warden assisted accommodation. If they need more help, to sheltered accommodation. If they need more help, they send them to a care home. If they need more help, they send them to a nursing home where there are actually nurses. So if they actually need nursing, medical nursing, and who does this assessment? The social services. Okay, so and most of the social services are social workers and occupational therapists. Mm. Mm. Okay, so basically an occupational therapist checks somebody's fitness and checks somebody's ability to cope and checks somebody's home situation and environment. Okay, so this is yep, is that okay? So I'm writing to you for a one-way transfer for Mr. Julian MacDonald, a 68-year-old gentleman with a recent left total knee replacement. Total knee replacement surgery for any required rehabilitation care. Okay. So we need a comma here, so because it's the extra information here. Okay. So basically, it's a non-relative clause. For any required rehabilitation care, why do we say any required for further management or instead of any required? Yeah. So for further rehabilitation or for further management. Mr. MacDonald was admitted to a hospital for an elective total knee joint replacement surgery on 20th of July. Surgery was performed by Dr. Mosley under spinal plus general anesthesia with a prepatellar approach. Okay. Right. Should I say was admitted to our hospital? Do we need that?
Maybe not. No.
Okay. He was admitted for an elective total knee joint replacement surgery on this date. Surgery was performed under. Is it important who performed it?
I don't think so. I just put it to ask, do we need to? And the person who is writing is not this doctor, right? We need, this was my question, that who is
Yeah.
writing this? Is it like we need to put our name there, or like is it this surgeon that is writing this note, or someone else?
It's somebody else. Usually they tell you. Let's see. Julian MacDonald. Julian MacDonald is name of the specialist. Okay. It doesn't say it. Interesting. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, basically, you are you're a doctor, just any doctor. Maybe it's a mid-level or junior doctor. So, and you probably work under Mr. Mosley's supervision. Yeah, it's not a very good case note anyway. Okay, so yeah, surgery was performed by Mr. Mosley under spinal plus general anesthesia with the prepatellar approach. How much this is relevant to rehabilitation?
I thought it might be relevant because of the maybe they want to give him some physical therapy, and it might be relevant. I don't know.
Okay.
If it's really relevant or not.
Okay, let's see. During post-op period, significant pain. So during post-op period, significant pain was observed, requiring a number of medications, including morphine, ketamine, and amitriptyline. CSU grew staphylococcus, and okay, instead of the patient, we say Mr. MacDonald received 5 day 5 days of additional Keflex. 5 days of additional Keflex. Yes,
For this part, I have a question because in the note it says that it was probably like contamination, and because of because the surgeon was worried, so they started these additional antibiotics. Do we need to put this here, or I thought that it must be like extra information that we don't require it?
Yeah, I think it is not necessary, but yeah, we will discuss later. Let's go through the whole letter. Despite adequate pain control, he suffers from insomnia. Is he? Does he have adequate pain control?
No, it's said inadequate, but it said despite inadequate Pain control, I didn't get it actually. I thought that it was like supposed to be adequate, but they put it inadequate.
Okay.
Yeah.
He suffers from insomnia. Okay, we don't want suffer. Okay.
Yeah.
Which requires formal sleep studies. Okay. I think that was sleep apnea rather than insomnia for formal sleep studies. But anyway, again, let's see if it's relevant to those. He smokes and drinks alcohol and is currently on nicotine replacement therapy. Okay. So, did you say he's how many and how much alcohol?
No.
It wasn't in the note.
And also, it will be offensive if we include the amount of this.
No, we can't. We can't
No.
put, I think, the amount.
Heavily, for example, or
Yeah, it's
heavy smoker.
yeah. If we say heavy smoker, no, that's not good. But if we say he smokes 20 cigarettes per day, that is fine. Yeah, we can do that. Okay, his current medication include his current medications include Zyloric 300 milligrams daily, Lipitor 20 milligrams Nocte, Carovina 300 milligrams daily, Mogadone 5 milligrams Nocte, which was stopped. So it is stopped, so we shouldn't put it in the medications,
Yeah.
okay? And so we take this, put it down here. Paracetamol 1 gram, QID ibuprofen 400 milligrams, TDS, Nicobate 21 milligram patch, okay, and Targen 2010 BD, oxycodone 5 to 10 milligrams every 4 hours PRA. And then Modagone was seized, was stopped. Right. And then he has a history. Right. Then he has a history of allergy to penicillin in childhood, presented as rash. Okay. Okay, we can say he's allergic to penicillin, or he has. Well, yeah, we say it is significant what kind of allergic reaction. It is definitely more relevant if it is anaphylactic. His follow-up visit by a specialist has been scheduled for 7th of the 9th. Okay. Right. He needs, well, we say Mr. MacDonald needs instead of he. It's the beginning of a paragraph. So, Mr. MacDonald needs a significant rehab, including physiotherapy and occupational therapy and home visit to assess suitability and fitness of returning to caravan. And so you didn't actually explain he lives in the caravan. An assessment of his alcohol and drug consumption would also be appreciated. I would be grateful if you admit Mr. MacDonald to your rehabilitation center for follow-up of his treatment or for further management. And yours sincerely. Actually, do we need the name of the person we're writing to?
I don't know.
No, we don't have their name. We just said, dear sir, madam. And when we have this, it is old style, but still they do it. They say, you should say yours faithfully if you don't know. And you say, doctor. Okay.
So at the end, we don't need to put any name and.
Doctor, for example.
No, just a doctor.
Okay.
Right. Even if you write your name, they will just deduct it. Okay, they just um, take it out because the examiners shouldn't know the name of the candidate. Okay. Let's see. So we have a patient whose name is Julian MacDonald. He had a total knee joint replacement, and we are transferring him to rehab. Okay. Now, basically, in a rehab center, there are some nurses that look after the patient and prepare him to return home. Okay. So basically, you're a nurse. Suppose you're a nurse and you want to admit this patient, okay? And you want to see what the doctor wants you to do, okay? This patient comes from hospital, comes to rehab center, and then goes home. Okay. Basically, you have a plan. There's a suggested plan from the hospital what to do here, and then we need to make sure that is it suitable. Okay. Now, is it suitable is actually the occupational therapist's job, the OT. They do a home visit and they make an assessment. For example, they look at how many steps are there. Is there a toilet which is which can be accessible because he cannot move? Okay. What to do in rehabilitation center? Well, based on the level of mobility, they need to help him get fit, ready to go home. Okay. So what is relevant here? Okay, first of all, he had his surgery, but he cannot go home. Okay, and that is the reason we're sending him to rehab center. And why he cannot go home? What is the reason?
Because of the surgery and immobility.
So because of his mobility post-op and pain, okay? So he cannot walk. And the other reason is that his home is not suitable because he lives in a caravan with some pets and he lives alone. So where is his toilet? Where is his kitchen?
I remember that he had a outside shower or something like that.
Yeah. So everything is out of the caravan. So basically, he needs to cook outside. He needs to go to toilet outside. He needs to go to bath outside. So lives alone in a caravan with all facilities in the open. Okay. And okay. Does he have any past medical history of PTSD? Well, that's what I remember. I think he has PTSD because he's a veteran, and then he also smokes and drinks, and he's now on oxycodone. Okay. Risk factors? Yeah. So I ask you a question. He had morphine postoperatively, and he still was in pain, and they had to put him on ketamine infusion. What do you think is wrong with him?
Addicted.
Addict.
Thank you. Okay. So, okay. So basically, yeah, he smokes and drinks plenty, and he's on oxycodone now, and we cannot send him home like that. Okay. He lives alone in a caravan. He's a veteran. He has PTSD. Do you know what veteran is?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So now we have the picture. Okay. Yeah, we have a better picture what is wrong with Mr. MacDonald. Let's see if I have a MacDonald sample. Okay. Mm, Dr. Doolittle, that's a nice guy. mm. Okay. I'm writing to refer Mr. MacDonald, a 68-year-old gentleman who's being transferred today following total left knee replacement surgery for further management and rehabilitation. 4 days ago, well, we could say the date actually, what the exact date. Mr. MacDonald underwent a total knee joint replacement with resulting significant postoperative pain despite treatment with morphine and ketamine infusion. He was agitated, slow to mobilize, and his analgesics were insufficient. Although the operation was without any complications or was uncomplicated, some mild agitation and insomnia were noted. Mr. MacDonald lives alone, drinks 6 to 10 standard drinks, and smokes 1 pack of cigarettes daily. His BMI is 35, oh, that is significant, and has a history of osteoarthritis, gout, and hypercholesterolemia. He's allergic to penicillin. Based on the above, well, actually, I wouldn't like that, the above. I would say you have to explain. I would greatly appreciate, not greatly, I would appreciate your management and rehabilitation of Mr. MacDonald. And his sutures are to be removed on the 10th postoperative day. An appointment has been scheduled with the surgeon, with Mr. Mosley, for 6 weeks. Physiotherapy and occupational therapy home visit need to be considered to assess his home situation. A social services assessment should be requested, and counseling regarding smoking and alcohol intake should be encouraged if this is offered in your facility. Should you require any queries? Should you have any queries, please do not hesitate to contact me. Okay. Well, I would say probably this management plan could come separately. Okay, I think that's better now. Right. Well, as you can see, there's not much about what happened during surgery. I mean, urine infection, urinary retention because of amitriptyline and staphylococcus and that sort of thing, and Keflex, because they actually have no bearing on what is going to happen next. Okay, you're sending a patient to a nurse, and therefore you don't need to explain what medications he's taking. Okay, I think the only important point to be included is the pain management and oxycodone, which needs to be managed because they need to taper it. So there are some missing points here, but look at this. His sutures. Um, okay, Doctor is surgeon. Do is it a must? We have to remove the sutures on the 10th post-op day.
Uh, obvious that the suture needs to be removed.
Okay,
Yeah,
how imperative is it?
not so imperative because we don't know what kind of suture is that. Maybe that is absorbable suture.
Okay, you know, we're sending the patient to a place that is run by nurses, so they need to know. We need to order them. Okay, so I'm sending this patient to a place with nurses only. They cannot decide. I have to tell them what to do. Okay. So if it's a should, oh, okay, put should. If it's a must, then put must. Okay. So it is advisable. Okay. Physiotherapy and occupational therapy home visits need to be considered, or you can say it is advisable to perform or to arrange a physio and occupational therapy home visit to assess his home situation. Okay, so this is it needs to be. So basically, we're just making a suggestion. A social services assessment should be requested, and counseling regarding this should be encouraged if it is offered. Okay, so basically, yeah, we didn't have actually any imperative, but I would say his oxycodone should be uh, tapered and must be stopped before his discharge home. Okay, so that is something I added because I think that he is at risk of addiction. Okay, we could have mentioned nicotine patches. Okay, so say yeah, he's taking nicotine patches, so that is something to continue. Okay, so let's see. Let me see if I can find another version for Mr. MacDonald. Um, writing. Oh, sample letters. Mm, Julian MacDonald. Yep, I haven't got it here. Right. Writing. Okay.
So will you please send us these corrected samples too?
Yes, absolutely. Julian MacDonald. Comments. Let's look at this. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's you see a lot of people make the same mistake. They write urgently. Okay, so okay, this is another sample. Mr. MacDonald was admitted 4 days ago. So that urgently we don't want. And postoperatively, he was managed for severe pain and infection. He also had somnolence and snoring and felt that the analgesia is not sufficient During hospitalization, significant alcohol withdrawal was not noticed and nicotine replacement was instituted. His medical background includes osteoarthritis, gout, hypertension, hypercholesterolemia, and PTSD. His BMI is 35, smokes 20 a day, drinks 6 to 10 standard drinks a day. Please note that he is allergic to penicillin. I have attached a list of his current medications. Mr. MacDonald lives alone in a caravan, so an OT home visit should be essential to check the home suitability. It is important to arrange for him to meet a social worker. Moreover, he does not have any contact with family members or friends. Is not relevant. Mr. MacDonald requires significant rehabilitation, including physiotherapy, as he has been unable to mobilize due to severe pain. It would be appropriate to arrange drug and alcohol counseling if available. His sutures need to be removed on day 10 post-op. An appointment has been arranged with Mr. Mosley at 6 weeks. Okay. So, and should you need further information, please do not hesitate to contact me. Okay. So, yeah. I think now you probably have a good idea now of what I mean by the information which is required and the information which is not relevant. Okay. I think things like this. He had somnolence and snoring. Well, what is it to do with his rehab? It's not important. Yeah. Okay. So, okay. So I sent this to you.
There are in these notes. There are some abbreviations. Some of them I really don't know what they mean. I don't know if there's any reference for that.
Ask me what is it? What are they?
Like for this one, I think that one, the removing sutures. I like
ROS.
I couldn't get it. Yeah.
Yeah, ROS removal of sutures. I've seen it somewhere. I'll find it for you. Let me leave a reminder for myself. Abbreviations. Remind me to look for abbreviations for OET.
Okay, sure.
Okay, done.